Hi there. So we are going to talk about engineering workflows with Odoo projects. Odoo 18 brings a new feature set that allows you to do this type of projects in a much simpler way. I think Odoo turns out to be a very powerful tool for this type of products, for this type of clients. We have clients doing this now in version 18 and with version maybe started in version 14 where you had to do more customization. Nowadays it's mostly out of the box. And so what I mean by this is you have configure to order. These are products that have a predefined set of options. Like in Odoo, of course, you have attributes, and attributes, they generate variants. And so doing that, you would trigger the manufacturing orders. There are some parts here that Odoo was not covering correctly, and and now in this new version, it makes it easier. Sometimes what we have to do is use some workarounds, especially when you have a large number of attributes. But I mean, it is mostly out of the box. Then we have this engineering to order process, and this is where we had more difficulty in the past, and with version 18, it's also out of the box, and so involves a design process, an engineering process, and and communication between the sales and project management, and so it requires to do a design or engineering process before starting the production. So this could be like custom industrial machinery and architectural projects and others, of course. Um, so let's get into this and I'll explain you with an example. Um, this is like, let's say, based on a real example, of course, and I just created uh, a set of products. So I have metal railings and I have metal railings corner. This would be the drawing is not correct, so it would be a bend. And we also have to create a project start product. This could have a zero price because it could be just used to trigger the the project. So it's like a service is created on order, creating on order a project for it. You could start with a project template and then you have the invoice policy. Now, when we can do this in different ways, so we can go and get us a quotation template. And so here we would say metal railings. And so now we can use this quotation template, just adding the products and then doing customization on top of it. I'll just choose model A and here start, use project start. So I could use this and then edit them on the fly. There are lots of things you can do now, like setting your terms, optional products. Then you can have your quote builder. It will use PDF forms and it will show very nice look of the quotation you're sending to your client. You have download examples here. You can get a zip folder with some predefined PDF quote builder examples. There are some videos that show you how to do it, but let's just go into quotes and let's start creating a new client. And this could be, we are on the phone, we are talking with the client. And now we just select metal railings. And here I'm going to pick the model that I want. I want this one, for example. And here I should choose the matching one. So model B. And this will be the corners. So let's say we have the need of using 20 of these and we need 4 corners. So it would be one of those spiral cases, staircases or something like that, right? So now this is a quote. Uh, and so After the client tells us, yes, that's what I want, you can set your payment terms. You can choose all the options usually in Odoo. But when the client says, yes, I want it, you click on confirm. And now uh, what happens is that you have a project, you have a delivery order for your products, and you have two manufacturing orders. Let's dig into the details. You have two manufacturing orders because per each, I created a bill of materials, and this bill of materials is already considering the model that we chose. We chose model B, so it's taking this one and shouldn't take this one. Let's check. Yeah. So if I go into the product, I see the bill of materials. Okay, yeah. We are looking at the bill of materials, and this one doesn't have to apply, but we need to look into the manufacturing orders. That's what's counting here. Yeah. So it's just applying. Okay, I was saying, for example, this metal sheet for model V shouldn't be included. And if we go here to components, it is not, right? So if you go into the bill of materials, just see this is for model B and model A. For model B, you just have some bars. And for model A and model C, you have like a metal sheet that is perforated and will be also subject of laser cutting. You see, I have a laser cutter operation only for model B and model C. And so, well, Odoo is following my guidelines correctly because I chose model B. And now if you click on the project, of course, you can go here and you can just say client A dash the location and Y center, something like that. Save. So you can change the name. Now you can click on your tasks. Here you don't have anything. You could have a predefined set of tasks using the project template like I referred before. But you have this new thing called the top bar for the project. And this is where I think it makes a lot of difference in this new version. So I can just make show sale orders, invoices, purchase orders and vendor bills, bill of materials, manufacturing orders, and the dashboard. So right now we go into the dashboard, we see profitability of probably the total to invoice and zero invoiced. And we will also see all the expenses. As soon as I create invoices and I create purchase orders, you will see this is going to change. Now, of course, you can start creating your tasks, assigning work to the team. This could be the design process, the engineering process, the installation process. You can manage just with the project management module. Or if you want to do it in a different way, you can also connect this to the field service, which allows you to have like installation teams that are on a daily basis, scheduling their work and planning according to the routes they need to do. Uh, of course, if you're doing bigger projects, that's not going to be requested because the installation usually could even be done by the persons that are manufacturing, depending on the size of the company, depending on the size and the structure of your teams. It has the flexibility to adapt to that. But see, now you can go into your sale orders and let's say um, client gave you the wrong measurements or uh, after the project start, you go on site and you take your own measurements and you see, okay, this is not what I got from the quote. So you can just click here and create a new one and add, let's say, another a model B, two pieces of model B for the complete railing, confirm it. Going back to your client, going back to your project here where you're going to have your tasks. Let's create a new task for on-site measure. Okay. And now this task uh, could be done in progress, whatever we adapted that. Now we can go into sale orders. And in the sale order, you see we have these two sale orders. So this is a change order. This is the main one. Of course, you could also do negative ones if the change order is for removing work from this. Um, you could also say, okay, before we start, the client needs to pay an advance payment. So no worries, you can go here and say, yeah, let's get a down payment of 40%, create the draft, and confirm. And now the client has sent us the money. Cool. Let's just mark it as paid. Going back to our project, now we can see our invoices. We got some money in. And if we go into our dashboard, we see it here. This is the total invoiced. This is an on-down payment, so it meaning it really explains what you have done here. Um, Now going back, you can click on the set where you have the manufacturing orders. As you see, now you have sale order 66, the last one we created. This is the first one for the railings that are straight. Then you have the corner ones, and now you need square tube. Uh, do we have stock for this? Of course, Odoo, you can just configure it to uh, replenish on the fly, but we can just go here and say, okay, let's create a purchase order for some additional product. And let's take some vendor and let's buy uh, some screws we need for railings, confirm the order, and we can receive the products, validate them. They are in stock now. Let's go back into our purchase orders here. And now you see these are the purchase orders. No vendor bills yet. Let's go into dashboard. Okay. We still don't just see on the profitability side total revenues. But if we go into purchase orders here and we create a vendor bill based on the material that we have just received, I'll just confirm this. Now we need to have a date. Confirm. And we could even pay it, doesn't matter. Right now, if we go into the dashboard, now you see we have a purchase order, and this is the expected, this is the build, and you can control your profitability directly on the project. You could also do other things like imagine you have to, this is a product, it's pretty well defined. You have a bill of materials, which is correct. But suppose we need to do something else. So we can go into bill of materials. We have nothing right now, but let's do the following. I'll just duplicate the tab. I'll go into the manufacturing module and let's find our bill of materials. And this corner, for example, it's not exactly what we want. So we can just click and duplicate. I'm going to say this is version 02 for what's the project name? Client A, right? Dash client A. And we can go here and assign it to the client A, NY Center, save. So now we have a copy. Now coming back here, I can go into manufacturing orders, back bill of materials, and I see this is a special one we did with some bolts, right? We can add here bolt, additional bolts missing here. Let's say we need 4. The operations are set exactly the same way. So I'll save this one. I got it here. So let's go back into the project. Let's see the manufacturing orders. So this one is triggering uh, the corners. Uh, I don't want to use this bill of material. I could just add I don't need to do a complete change. I'm just demoing, right? I could just add a line with a bolt here and it's going to consume it. That's probably the easiest way. But in some situations, uh, it's really very different from client to client. And I'm referring to um, the second option of what I was describing. We are doing a project that is specific for a client, and we need to approve the bill of materials, for example, before we start something. So we can just cancel this one. And so we can go into metal railings. We can go back into manufacturing orders. So this one is canceled. So they were four, right? So we can just create a new one, metal B, and we can say we are going to use this new version, and it's 4 units we need, and we confirm. Okay, right now uh, we can go back and see, okay, we have the cancel one, we have the new one, but everything is in place. So as you see, you have the flexibility of creating new bill of materials, canceling manufacturing orders, adapting your product to the client, and that is mostly out of the box. The rest, of course, it's also improved in version 18, like the planning screens. You have, uh, well, you can control uh, going directly into manufacturing orders. You can see your cost breakdown. So if you click here and see the overview, you see how much you're spending on the operations, on the raw materials, and you can do your planning, your costing in much easier way. But I feel this is really a different game now. Doing engineering projects with Odoo, it's well mostly out of the box, as I said. I hope you liked the video, uh, and keep in touch. Follow me for the next one. See you. Bye bye.